Indian block prints are not only really beautiful patterns, but they've also been trending in home decor and apparel for the last. In this video, I'm showing you how to create those subtle imperfections that make these prints feel hand stamped and handcrafted rather than digital and flat. If you want to create a really gorgeous block print, let's dig in. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Elizabeth Silver and I've been designing patterns and illustrations for over 20 years through staff jobs, freelance clients, and art licensing partners. On this channel, I give designers insights into the surface pattern and art for product industry, from tips on making stronger art collections to pitching your work to industry trends. Subscribe if that sounds useful to you. Indian block print patterns are a traditional textile art form that originated in India centuries ago, created by hand carving designs into wood blocks and stamping them onto fabrics one layer at a time. The slight shifts, overlaps, and inconsistencies are what give these prints their gorgeous handcrafted character. Lately, these patterns have been popping up everywhere, from bedding and home decor to fashion and accessories. And as people gravitate towards more organic, artisan-made aesthetics, I wanted to give you some tips on easy ways to give your block print art that beautifully imperfect feel without the need to carve and hand stamp. The first thing you're going to want to do is, when you're creating your sketches, look at historical references. One of my favorite reference sources for traditional design are from the V&A pattern series. One of these is called V&A Pattern Indian Florals. I have seen this on eBay, V&A Pattern Indian Florals. If you're interested, I use both this book, and obviously you can also use references from the internet as well for how to draw this style of florals and leaves. I'm just going to do a demo with a very simple repeating floral. I initially sketched this in Adobe Fresco with the symmetry function on. So a typical print with a single motif I might normally create in Adobe Illustrator. So here is a block print that might be something like you've created before. You do the outlines, you fill in the colors, and you repeat it, and it's fun, it's perfectly serviceable, but the truth is what's beautiful about these block prints, as I said, are their inconsistencies. So let's take this general motif and palette and take it to the next level. To do that, I like to work in Adobe Photoshop. You can do this in other programs for sure. I am going to show you a couple Photoshop specific tips, but you're welcome to take some of these ideas and translate them into a program of your choice. So the first thing you want to do is take your sketch. I'm going to make it lower opacity. And instead of having a repeat that only shows the same design twice, in order to get some of that imperfection, I'm going to trace this multiple times. I'm going to hand draw it first. So I'm going to create a new layer, use black to start, and simply draw this a few times. Now you can do it with a pencil or even a rough brush. So if you were in Procreate or Illustrator, you might want to use a brush that has some interesting texture to it. In Photoshop, I'm going to use Kyle's Inkbox Broken Bumpy, but it really doesn't matter because we're going to use some effects that break this up. But this is a nice dark ink that is kind of bumpy already, so it gives us a little extra to work with. As you can see, I'm not tracing it too perfectly, and I'm not duplicating and mirroring this. Even though I did for the initial sketch, I want there to be some imperfections in the final motif. So I traced that once. I'm going to move my sketch along, create a new layer, trace it again. There we go. Once I've traced it at least 3 times, I'm going to take those 3 layers, and I'm even going to duplicate those. So in order to do this next step, I'm going to merge this layer with the background. Now it's not going to stay like this, but this helps with the filters that I want to use. So now I'm going to select one, go to Filter, Gallery, and under Sketch, going to click on Stamp. So as you can see, you're already starting to see what this could look like. So you might have to play with the settings a little bit. And this is how deep do you want your stamp to go. I'm gonna stick it there. Smoothness, you can see it makes a big difference. I'm gonna do around there. And this kind of shows off how a stamp could work with a little bit of bleeding and sort of overflow. And I'm gonna do the same with this. I can select a couple of these actually. Filter Gallery, and I'm gonna maybe change the settings here so they're a little bit different. Smoothness, maybe I'll go down to that one. I might do a little hand erasing here to make this still stand out. And then I'm repeating that step for these different ones. And okay, so now we have these motifs that are all different. The final step I'm going to take here is if we zoom in, we can see that this has multiple colors, but I'm going to have this as a color reduced design where it only has the 6 or 7 colors, however many in the palette. So what I want to do next is, as it's black and white, I can go to Image, Adjustments, and Threshold. And you can adjust here. We've already mostly made the adjustments, but as you can see by changing this, it gets a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner. But since we already did that stamp thing, it's mostly already set. So now when I zoom in, it's only black and white. My next move is going to be to select, and I'm going to make sure that this is not on anti-alias, unchecked and uncontiguous. Select these black ones, X, and paste. So now they're separate from the background. I did have to flatten it in order to make it work before, but there we go. So first I want to change this color to this navy color in my palette. I'm going to use the fill tool, but I want to make sure it is not anti-alias so that it stays one color. Next, I'm going to start to put these in repeat. And I want a bigger repeat. So when I look at my Illustrator design, I created this tiny little repeat so that everything was the same and it looks too even and too perfect. But the whole reason that in Photoshop I made these slightly different designs, I drew them multiple times, I broke them up in different ways, I filtered them slightly different, is so that this same quote-unquote stamp is stamped differently. So I want to lay these out in a different way. So I'm going to make an 8x8 repeat, and I'm going to use my pattern wireframe library. I'm actually going to dip into my library. This is from my expansion pack, and I'm going to select this hexagon JPEG and bring it right into Photoshop. And actually, this is an 8x8 pattern. Looking at the size, maybe I want this to be 6x6. So what I'm actually going to do is fix size 6x6. I'm going to bring these guides in, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to shrink it down. There we go. So my pattern wireframes are already in seamless repeat. So I'm just showing you here, no matter what, this is already going to repeat if I follow this plan. And the reason that I'm doing it like this is so that I know exactly where to align these designs. I'm just going to align the stem to this tiny little point. All right, I'm going to start with these outlines and I will finish the rest of the repeat in a moment. Next, I'm going to move on to my next layer. I'm going to select my color, and I'm going to use a pencil. The reason I'm using a pencil is because I want to make sure that it is not anti-alias. There we go. Now I can copy this over. And honestly, since the outline is different, I don't need to make too many adjustments. I can make some adjustments if I want to, but I don't need to because the outline is kind of the most important part. Now that we have 6 different designs, slightly different, slightly subtle imperfections, I can go ahead and put this into a full 6" by 6" repeat. There we go. This is so much more interesting. If I want, I can add some sort of texture to the background and make it even more authentic, but I'm really happy with this. Using that stamp tool, going the extra mile to make this a little bit larger and slightly different motifs really gives this the handcrafted look that I love. If you want a head start on creating patterns like this, but don't want to spend your time figuring out technical repeats, check out my pattern wireframe libraries, whether it's the original, the expansion pack, or the bundle to grab all 58 seamless patterns. It's the fastest way to focus on texture and those subtle imperfections rather than staring at a blank artboard. Grab it and get straight to designing with the link below. Ready to turn your passion for surface pattern design into profit? Discover the secrets to creating irresistible and marketable design collections with my course, Successful Licensing Collections. Whether you're a beginner or a seasoned designer, unlock the blueprint to building a portfolio that sells, filled with expert advice on finding on-trend themes, choosing incredible palettes, and critiquing your own work to make it swoon-worthy to art directors. Click the link in the description to enroll now and take your designs to the next level.